Let's begin by saying this clearly. There is much in Alex's argument that we respect and agree with. He rejects shallow atheism. He rejects the idea that reality is self-explanatory. He affirms that existence requires a sustaining cause, right now, not just in the past. That alone places him far ahead of simplistic material explanations. So this is not a response built on hostility. It's built on seriousness. But agreement on existence is not the end of the question. It's the beginning. Alex argues that reality depends on a sustaining cause, not a distant trigger, but something holding existence together at every moment. On this, we fully agree. A cause that exists necessarily, is not dependent, is not material, is not bound by time, does not leave reality. This is not mythology. This is metaphysical necessity. A reality that depends on something cannot be self-sufficient. Borrowed existence demands a source. So far, logic leads us to a real, present, sustaining creator. But here is where the discussion must go further. Alex stops at existence, but existence alone does not explain meaning. A foundational cause that sustains reality, enables consciousness, allows reason, makes moral awareness unavoidable, cannot be treated as morally irrelevant. Because once conscious beings exist, accountability becomes unavoidable. Let's talk about something deeply human. This world does not deliver justice. Murderers die peacefully. Oppressors escape punishment. Children suffer. Victims are forgotten. This is not an emotional argument, it is a logical one. If conscious moral agents exist, moral intuition exists, moral outrage exists, then justice must exist, or morality itself is meaningless. But justice is not completed here. So we are left with only two possibilities. 1. Justice does not ultimately exist. 2. Justice exists beyond this life. There is no third option. And if justice exists beyond this life, then existence is not morally neutral. A sustaining cause that creates conscious beings, gives them reason, gives them moral awareness, allows injustice temporarily, cannot be indifferent forever, because indifference would make morality irrational. A creator who gives moral awareness but never judges is logically inconsistent. That is not a theological claim. That is a philosophical one. Look at life honestly. Different circumstances, different tests, different capacities, different opportunities. Some are tested with power, some with weakness, some with wealth, some with loss. This does not look random. It looks deliberate. Not equal outcomes, but equal accountability. Suffering does not disprove a just creator. It disproves the idea that this world is the final court. If this world were the place of final justice, suffering would be incoherent. But if this world is a temporary stage, suffering becomes tragic, not meaningless. The mistake is assuming if God exists, justice must happen here. There is no logical reason that must be true. Now ask yourself, honestly, if you live your life believing there is no ultimate accountability, and there is none, nothing is lost. But if there is accountability, everything is lost. But if you live your life acknowledging a creator, and there is no afterlife, you lose nothing. But if there is, you gain everything. This is not fear-mongering. This is rational risk assessment. Acknowledging a creator is not the end of thinking, it's the beginning. If a creator exists, then truth matters, then moral responsibility matters, then how we live matters. And then the honest mind must ask, which understanding of God explains reality best? Not emotionally, not culturally, but rationally. We are not here to convert anyone. We are here to say this. This question is not small. This question is not optional. This question is not philosophical entertainment. It is about meaning, justice, responsibility, and what happens when this life ends. Research, study, challenge, ask, but do not treat this as trivial, because this is not just about ideas. This is about everything. If you disagree, tell us where. If you think justice doesn't require judgment, explain how. If you believe consciousness has no moral implication, defend it. We read, we respond, we continue. This is not the end of the discussion. It is where serious thinking begins.